All right, gentlemen, here we are. This is Dr. Vella, and I want to welcome you to another screencast. This is one you're going to be watching during our second online class period. And what I'm going to provide here is just an overview of some of the major currents in existentialism. And that'll help us to transition from talking about Dostoevsky, Notes from Underground, and moving into Kafka's Metamorphosis, which is our next reading. So for our next class, we're going to read the first part of Kafka's Metamorphosis, and then for the class after that, we'll read the last two parts. It's broken down into 3 parts. Okay? All right, so here we go. I want to start with our heading. Let's enjoy the little things here. So let's enjoy spearmint, which is one of my absolute favorite colors. It's just a green. Sometimes I have blue-green, I have green-blue, I have red-green, but this is just green. So existentialism in gorgeous spearmint. Okay. All right. So what I want to talk about today, you guys are going to be doing this on, let's see, tomorrow is, my periods 1 and 2 will be looking at this on March 19th, and period 3, I'm not sure when our next meeting will be. I'm guessing it's going to be Monday, but I don't know that for sure yet. Okay, so as I want our subheading to be here, major currents in existential thought. And when we're talking about existential thought here, we're really talking about from about 1860 to about 1950. Okay, so that's kind of beginning with Dostoevsky and Nietzsche, and ending with Sartre, Camus, and Simone de Beauvoir. So that's kind of our overall arc, and Kafka certainly fits in there. Okay? So our first 2 concepts that I want to look at are actually a couple key words and some variations on those words. So the first thing is this idea of alienation and estrangement. So let's think about what those words mean, but I also, as we think about what those words mean, I want to think about some of their derivatives. Alienation is, of course, the noun, and it's the feeling of being alienated, right? But we also have the verb form, alienate, but I'm going to put it here as alienated, because we usually think about this as a verb, and we usually think about it in existentialism as being passive. One does not alienate others. Instead, one feels alienated. One has been alienated from the world. So that is passive. And then the other noun, so the noun alienation refers to the noun of the feeling that we have of being alienated. But there's also the noun root here, which is alien, right? So this is our noun, and this describes the person, not the feeling. The other key word we have here is estrangement. Okay, estrangement. Once again, that is a noun. That is the feeling of being estranged, but we also have the passive verb, which is to be estranged. Okay, you can think of that word. Usually we hear that word more with like estranged lovers or estranged spouses, but here we're using it as being estranged from the world. And then lastly, the concept This one is a little more difficult to see in English. You see it more clearly in French. Because in English, the noun form of estrangement is stranger. We drop the E. In French, they don't drop the E, they keep it. So this is the noun describing the person. So look at that sequence there. We have alienation, alienated, and we have the alien. Then we have estrangement, to be estranged, and then we have the stranger. What all of those What all of those words and concepts highlight, okay, I need to pause here briefly. My son Joseph has come in with a damaged Batman figurine, and we need to address that immediately. All right, Joseph, you want to say hi?
Hi.
Julia, you want to say hi?
Hi.
Okay, that's a hi from the little Vellas.